All right. In this video, I'm going to go over sort of one of our other main uses, the watch list and portfolio monitor. Just give a quick overview of what is entailed in each of these different watch lists, as well as showing you the different ways to set up the watch list. So just to get started, I'll start on the watch list monitor side, and this is one of the main use cases of advisor tools, and that is the watch list monitor. And here you're able to be on top of your model or client portfolio holdings from the perspective of performance, fundamentals, and Zacks predictive models. And this is something you can set up for stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds to view daily performance data and additional tabs that provide quick access to vital asset-specific information like our research, news, and events. And these all pertain only to what is in that specific watch list. And like I said, these are separated. The watch lists are separated between the different securities that we cover. So just for an example here, we can scroll through and see that this is an equity watch list, you have a mutual fund watch list, and ETF watch list. You can also have an index watch list and economic watch list, and I'll overview that a little bit after here. But just I'll stick with the equity. It's fairly similar of what we offer as far as in our watch list, and what the helpful point of this watch list is it ties in a lot of our research and quantitative scores and news together. That way, instead of you having to search a specific company or go through any of our different tools as far as pointing and clicking, this allows you to have a little bit more quick access to a lot of that information within these watch lists if the tickers are in there. So just a quick overview, this is just a general view where you have the symbol, name, and sort of intraday price information, as well as our Zacks ranking here. Within the watch list, there's a few different tabs. The first one is this Zacks Research tab, and if you click on it, you're able to access our different reports that we write for that particular security, along with our Zacks ranking there. It's a good starting point as far as to see what we've written about that particular company or that particular mutual fund or ETF. The next tab is our quant scores, and along with not only our Zacks rank, ETF, and mutual fund rank, we also have other predictive quantitative models and style scores that pertain to the equities that we cover. So here's just a few other ones, and you can sort them through any way that you'd like to, just a little bit customizable. And if you hover over any of these different scores, it will give you a brief description of those quantitative models, of course. And if you do have any questions on our quantitative models and want to do a little bit deeper dive as far as information, please feel free to contact our Advisor Tools support line. We're more than happy to answer your questions or set up a training call for you. The next tab is this Data tab. This is a little bit more customizable, where you can create your own tables to view key metric columns, not only in your watch list, but you can utilize a larger table and option to export this through Excel through our table builders, which is under our tools bar here, and it pertains to each of the different equities. This Data tab only allows you to add 6 metric columns, while this table builder, whatever security it is, it ties in with your watch list, and here you're able to add quite a few more tabs, about 14 or so, and that has the ability to export to Excel as well. But this Data tab, you have as far as being able to search through our different data views to provide any sort of different items to compare to with this watch list that you have. You also have the customized ability of dragging, moving as you really want to, or Xing out if you wanted to get rid of them as well. The last main factor that pertains to our watch list is the option to create alerts along with our news and events, which is pretty self-explanatory. Any sort of news provider that we cover or events that we have that pertain to that specific watch list will be within these two tabs here. But lastly is the main factor is the ability to create alerts. And this new alert feature allows setting up alerts that can apply to an entire watch list or individual tickers. And each watch list includes an alerts tab here where you can define the alert criteria that will be applied to the entire watch list, and each ticker within that watch list that passes the selected criteria will trigger an alert. So for example, you can set an alert to monitor whenever a Zacks ranking changes for these particular watch lists, or you can set it up for a price change. To set any of those watch list alerts, you can come to this Options tab and click Create and Edit Watch List Alerts. And here it'll bring up the system alerts that we can choose from as far as if we do want to change for a Zacks rank, we could check off any of these boxes. Or we want dividends, changing the reports if we want to be updated when there's a new report. Any of these that we check off, we can just click Save System Alerts, and that will save it for the next time. And you also do have the ability to create limit alerts as well. But for further training, if you do have any questions on setting up alerts, please feel free to contact our support line, and we're more than happy to walk you through setting up alerts in a little bit more detail and helping you answer any of your other questions that you might have. So that being said, that's kind of a quick overview of the watch list as a whole. I'm just going to show you the two different ways that you're able to set up a watch list. The first one is just creating a new watch list. Here you can click that button, and here you can choose from the different options as far as what type of watch list you want to create. We can stick with the equities tab here. You give it a name, and from here you can copy and paste up to 100 tickers into this field box here, or if you just want to type them in, they'll appear there. You can click Add, and that will immediately create your watch list there for you. So that's the first way to create that watch list. And like I said, for these watches, you can have up to 100 tickers on here, but you can create as many different watch lists as you would like. So we can just delete this one. The second way to create this is through a file. So here we have the option to create it through an Excel file, a CSV file, or a text file. Fairly similar as far as if you do it through your Excel, it'll bring up this downloadable page in the bottom left. You will select it, and here it brings up the template. So this is if you have a larger list of tickers that you would like to add, and you have it through Excel where you can just easily copy and paste it into this template. Here it's pretty simple as far as wherever it is in yellow, that's where you'll enter in your information. So first it's asking for a name. We can just call this test. The watch list type, this is if it's an equity, ETF, or mutual fund, and you'll want to make sure you do it specifically in this example, otherwise the watch list won't appear like that. So this one being equity, so we can just leave those tickers here. And from there, if you did want to copy and paste your tickers, you would just put it right here and copy and paste them down here. From there, you will save it to your desktop and reload it. For this example, I've already saved it to my computer. So once you do save it, you can come back to this step, choose File, and from there, we can just click this Watch List Template Test. It will have it loaded right there. Click Create Watch List, and that list will load automatically there. So that is the two different ways to upload your watch list from a file, or just upload it quickly through here. And if you do have any more questions on there, please feel free to contact us, and we're more than happy to help you upload your watch list or create some sort of watch list for you as well. A couple other features within this watch list. You have the ability to obviously add tickers to the watch list going forward, alerts, like I said, add a performance chart that would pop up on the right-hand side here. You also can rename it, delete it. If you collapse this watch list, it'll show like it does up here, and you also have the option to hide this watch list. So if you do hide a watch list going forward, to be able to pull it back up will be within this watch list to dashboard tab. And if you click there, you can choose through, it'll be under whatever security the watch list is made for. For this example, it'll be under the equity. And if we just pull that test there, it will automatically bring it up to the top here, and we can click expand, and that watch list will show again. A couple other features of the watch list is if you just want to easily sort it through the different watch lists that we provide, you can click equity here. It'll just show all of the different equity watch lists and so on and so forth as far as index, any of these different types of watch lists that we provide, or all of them here. The last type of watch list is this top index watch list, and this watch list allows you to monitor all of the different types of indexes and intraday views, and you can add different tickers for each of those different indexes, and there is about a 15-minute delay in price changing for these indexes, and for the price changing delay for equities and ETFs have about a 2 to 3 minute delay, and mutual funds have about a 15-minute delay. So just for your information going forward when you want to monitor and create these watch lists. The second part is creating a portfolio monitor, and this is a little bit more customizable view where you can enter in all of your different securities that we cover into one list, and it's a little bit more portfolio view where you can enter in share and price paid information. So it's a little bit more of actual client information as far as shares and price information, and if you want to monitor the performance of that. This is separated under a different section. It's under this portfolio monitor area. And to create this portfolio monitor, this will provide, you can access basically the news and Zacks research report. Basically the only difference within these portfolio monitors is it doesn't offer as far as the ability to create alerts, the ability to follow particular data for customizable. Just because we're putting all of the securities onto one watch list, it sort of limits what we provide, because we provide different data for each of these different securities. But like I said, if this is more of a performance view that you want to look at. So if we want to create a new portfolio, there's two different ways. It's basically the same way of creating a portfolio or a watch list monitor. You can just give portfolio name. You can put in the types of different companies. And we can just click add. That'll bring up your portfolio here. And if you want to enter in the holdings manually, you'll just double click on each of these, click on the shares, click on the price paid, and it will bring up your complete value of those custom watches as well. Now, if you have a larger list and already have that information, say in a spreadsheet or something, the other option to create this portfolio might be helpful through Excel, which is create portfolios through file. And this is the same thing as we did for a watch list, is this custom import template. Bring up this downloadable page on the bottom left. Select this. It should bring up here. Same sort of template, but just different options as far as information that we provide. You'll have to enter in the tickers as well as enter in what ticker type it is, if it's stock, mutual fund, or ETF, the number of shares, and price paid, and If you do have any cash, you can put it in there, and we can just give this a name. And you'll go through the same option of saving it to your desktop. I've already done that for this one, so once that comes up, you'll choose the file, and we'll just select it there, and it will show up as a portfolio monitor test. We'll click Create Portfolio, and there it will be there going forward. Click Holdings, and here you'll see sort of what the overall look of that portfolio monitor looks like. Like I said, it is limited on the other options that we do have as far as it offers our Zacks research with our rankings and report options, as well as a news tab. But as far as what we provide, that is about it. But this is a quick overview of the portfolio monitor. If you do one more, you have that same options tab here, and if you do hide it, this is a little bit different. You can click this Create Client Account Library, and within here, those portfolios will be under the Custom tab here, and it'll be under that test. You can add that portfolio back there. So as far as the Watchlist Monitor and Portfolio Monitor, that is a quick overview of what we provide in each of those different lists, as well as how to create those as well. So if you do have any questions going forward, please feel free to contact our Advisor Tools support line, and we're more than happy to walk you through putting up those different lists, as well as creating them for you if you'd like us to, and answering any of your other questions. So thank you.